Hello, knitting friends, and welcome back to Ina Knits. My name is Ina, and I am a passionate knitter, and I live in Norway, and I love to share my passion for yarn and knitting with you all. So thank you so much for checking me out if you haven't been here before, or for returning to my channel. It is lovely to have you here with me while I chat about my knitting and my new yarn space. I have, since we last spoke, moved to a new home, and it has been quite an adventure, as every move is, obviously, at least when you do most of the work yourself. And yeah, we moved in June, and now it is 2nd of August. So we have done a lot of unboxing and shuffling around on furniture to figure out how and where we want everything to be. And we are not at all done yet. It will be a process for several months, I suspect, but at least we have a home where we can live, and we know just about where everything is located, so it's not a completely mess. Anyway, I have found a new crafting space up here in loft, and I just put up these shelves or cubicles and have started to fill them with my stash yarn, and I have a little space here which is kind of cozy, and I can definitely picture myself sitting up here during the fall and winter and just craft my heart out. So I will show you more from my crafting space in a later video, but I thought it would be kind of nice to record my first podcast episode from the new house from up here. Yeah, so we just to recap a little bit more, we moved in June and we stayed in the house for just a week before we went off to have summer holiday in the south part of Norway. And it was kind of frustrating to leave the house so early, because all you want to do is really to just settle in and unbox all the boxes and get kind of system and order for all of our belongings. But at the other hand, it was kind of nice to just flee the situation. While we were on holiday, we couldn't do anything about the new house anyway, so it was a nice 2.5 weeks of just relaxing, and we were 1 week on the sailboat. My boyfriend Christian, his father owns a sailboat, and we were able to join him for 1 week, and we sailed a lot in the Oslo fjord and down to Sweden. It was an adventure, and the kids loved it, and Billy, he was joining us as well as a boat's dog. And he was so cute wearing his little vest, and He doesn't enjoy water or swimming at all, so he stayed on the boat and was not tempted to jump overboard. Yeah, he was completely calm, and I think he really loved it. He has never been so calm his entire life with us. So he was just chilling out on deck or downstairs, and he really found his spot there, and seemed like he was in a zen all week long. So the only concern was whether he would be able to like pee and do his business on the water. So we had bought him like a peeing mat, um, uh, but he didn't understand the purpose of it. So we ended up having to drive him with the small dinghy boat to shore whenever he had to go to the toilet. So, but it wasn't a problem really. We was close to shore most of the time, so we just figured it out a way to make it work. So it was a wonderful holiday. The kids have bathed and jumped from the boats, and yeah, they really just had a blast. Yeah, let's talk knitting, shall we? I have finished at least one thing. As it had been summer, I don't know about you, but when it gets too warm, I tend to just leave my knitting and read a book or do other things instead when I want to relax. But I have finished a cardigan, and I'm very, very proud and pleased about it. So this is the chunky Dahlia V-neck cardigan, which is a pattern by Lene, Holme, Samsøe. And it is this wonderful leaf lace motif up here and on the back, and the rest of the cardigan is just plain stockinettes, and I'm just extremely happy about it. If you watched my previous episode, I talked about how I had 4 balls of this discontinued yarn from Sandnes, and it's not possible to get hold of anymore. And I really wanted to make my 4 balls of this yarn work for a cardigan. Oh, there's some fluff in the air. And I was like fingers crossed and playing a hard game of yarn chicken. So I made the cardigan a little bit shorter than the recipe called for, and this isn't of course the yarn that the pattern is written for. But I thought, I mean, if I ran out of yarn, then I will probably complete the arms using a contrast of some sort, because I have some yarn that's kind of the same quality but not the same color. Yeah, the cardigan is knitted top down, so I started up here and I knit down to where I separate for arms and or sleeves and the body, and then I kind of just knitted down to the length that I was comfortable with. My torso is not too long, so I can definitely wear a shorter cardigan. And then I just continue with the arms, and I I knitted down to where I thought that I might would have the arms, and then I started on the second arm, and I knitted from both the inside and the outside of the ball of yarn. And when I was kind of 10 centimeters or 4 inches above the length of the first sleeve, then I discovered that, oops, this is not enough to complete the second sleeve, making it the same length as the first. Oh, I think I need to take this off because it's very hot to wear a woolen cardigan up here right now. So I just ripped back the first sleeve and I finished it, and it's this balloon sleeve, and I just decreased as the pattern told me to, and then I made a sleeve color, kind of just, I don't think it's nearly as long as in the pattern, but I'm super happy with that length. It's kind of a 3/4 length, and you know, when you have balloons shaped sleeves, they're kind of in the way if they're full length, and I tend to roll them up anyway. So actually I think they turned out just perfect. I'm really happy about the sleeves. So that was a big happy knit for me. This is the pattern on the back side. I don't know if you can actually see it that well. Oh yeah. I have woven in the end, but I don't think I did a very good job up here. So yeah, there we have it. And this pattern is just, oh, it's so beautiful. And it's all the way across the side panels and the back, and yeah. And this is oh, what's the pattern? No, the yarn is called sorry, I need to pause and find it out. It is Suri alpaca from Samsøe, and it's 100% alpaca yarn, like this very light and airy alpaca, but because it is alpaca, it's also warm. So I'm very happy that I knitted with this is probably a DK worsted, maybe a worsted weight yarn, and I knitted using 6mm needle, yeah, to create a very airy fabric. That was my absolute intention. So yeah, very happy with it. So ooh, and you know, when I was sitting on the sailboat and it was kind of chilly in the evenings, this was a wonderful net to just pick up and knit a few rounds on. As I could really use it as a small lap blanket at the same time. But tonight it is way too warm to wear it. I think I'm just going to show you whatever I've been more or less knitting on during the summer so far. I mean, the summer is not over. We have barely just started August, right? But because I am in this a little bit chaotic moving situation. I haven't been very kind of organized with my knitting, so I'm just like, oh, now I have some spare time to knit, and grab the first thing that I see. And now I've done a little bit of work trying to collect everything, and yeah. The first thing I'll show you is a hat that I'm knitting for Christian. He is, as you might know, very much into sailing, and he has a dream about a proper fisherman's hat. You know what I mean? With this ribbed fabric and with this brim that you can fold up, and it's not going to cover his ears, so it will just lay as a kind of a cap without a brim. Yeah, so he actually bought the yarn for it himself, and it is Filcolana Pernilla in this navy blue color, and I'm knitting using 4mm, or is it 3.5 maybe, and I'm just magic looping my way through this hat. So I'm knitting with 2 strands of yarn, and I'm following a pattern as well. I will put the name of the pattern on the screen. And yeah, I'm knitting up the size medium, and it's of course extremely important that this hat fits his head. So we have been trying it on, and I have been casting on twice to get the correct size, and I have even completed the hat once, and it was too little, so I had to rip back down to where the crown decreases starts, and redo them. And it is not the most inspiring knit to do, but is at least very easy. So yeah, this has been a kind of a TV knitting project. Very, very, very close to being finished now. I have actually another finished object. So right before I moved to this new home, I had kind of a palette cleanser project. This was a quick one, very, very quick one. So I knitted a couple of pot holders, and they are a very scrappy pair of pot holders, as you can probably tell. So I've knitted with, is it three or 4? I think it's 3 strands of yarn, and it's a combination. I have combined I think 2 strands of cotton yarn with 1 strand of a wool nylon. This is a hand dyed yarn, and then I just made an I-cord, and yeah, and made a simple like hole with a yarn over and knitted together to just be able to hang it in the kitchen. So this was really fast to knit up, and as I said, very, very fun, a fun side project. I don't think I'm too happy about the lighting up here. It's a little bit too dark in that little nook, so I should have another light of some sorts, but I don't know. Did it get any better behind me? Maybe just a little bit annoying with the lights on the side of my head. Well, I think we just have to work with it this time, and next time I will try and figure something out. All right. I have knitted on Christmas socks, as I talked about in June, I believe it was. And yeah, so I just felt really, really inspired to knit on Christmas socks earlier this summer. It was kind of a shorter period, I think. During a couple of weeks, I just felt so Christmas inspired. So I had one Christmas themed sock. So this is a pattern that Nordic Stitches designed, and it is a beautiful lace pattern just on the front of the sock and plain knitting on the back, which is a very nice effect, I think. And the yarn is absolutely scrumptious. It is a yarn by Woolen Yarn, and I believe it is a colorway named I can never remember exactly, but it is something with unicorn. Yeah, unicorn something. And yeah, I have knitted sock number 2. I haven't washed or blocked it yet because I haven't kind of finished it either. But I have started on the toe decreases. And of course, this is why one should always complete sock number 2 right after sock number 1. Because now I have to use a little bit of brain space to figure out what exactly I did with the toe decreases, because I can remember that I did something a little bit different from the pattern. I have to kind of analyze a little bit to see what I actually did down there. But they are almost done. And I have a small nugget of yarn left, and then they are off the needles. Yay! And I have actually located my box of Christmas socks. I found them just yesterday. I have it in this beautiful box. Knitter's Box is a yarn subscription company in Norway, and I tried them in January, I believe. and their goodnesses came in this beautiful box. So I just tucked in my Christmas related hand knitted socks in there. Here they are, my Jingle Bell socks that I also completed during the spring, early summer. And my Christmas at Hogwarts, a homespun house colorway. And yeah, I have this one. These are West Yorkshire spinners. Is it the Fairy Lights colorway, which was a Christmas color some years ago? And this is the other West Yorkshire spinners Christmas self-striping yarn. So I really don't remember what the name was. And I have this pair, which is made out of minis from the opal yarn calendar that I had 2 years in a row, I think. I still have a few little opal yarn nuggets left, but I use them now all to knit into my son's mitre square blanket, which I haven't worked on at all during summer, so I will not show you that now. I think I turn a little dark. Oh well. And these are the last of my Christmas hand knit socks, and this is also knit out of an advent calendar. Here I knitted one. This was a swap calendar that I had with 2 friends, and I knitted 1 stripe for each of the little minis that I received during Advent. So there should be 24 stripes in these socks. Very fun pair of socks. Yes! So once I've finished the new pair of Christmas themed socks, I will put them in this box together with my other Christmas related hand knit socks. And speaking of Christmas socks, I also been working on another pair, and this is sock that I am knitting for I think they will become like a Christmas present or Advent present. But the yarn is Regia season color, and I think this specific color is called Mitzelsweig, and it's 9409. And yeah, I just threw in a red contrast heel to break up the color a little because it's super variegated and busy. And I am actually now down to where I'm going to put in the heel on sock number 2. I'm knitting the blueberry waffle pattern, which is really hard to tell due to all of the busy colors of the sock, but yeah, that's what I chose to do. And I forgot of course, to bring the contrast yarn on vacations. I brought the sock, but I didn't have the red contrast, so I haven't been able to work at all on these since June, I believe. Time to pick them up again, now that I have all of my yarn around me and can find the red contrast easily again. I had, though, worked on some shorty socks, and here they are. It's probably easier to show you sock number 1. So this is a very, very variegated and busy yarn as well, but it does its own. It seems like it's striping, but it is pooling actually. It's a color. Yeah, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. But this was a gift from a viewer of the podcast, and the color is called Mardi Gras. It's a very pretty yarn, but I mean, when you look at it, it's got a lot of pinks and lilacs and green, and yeah, all of these like pastel colors. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but once you knit it up, it's very dominated by the orange of for some reason. So I think actually I like the heel the best, because here you can kind of see all of the different colors very, very nicely. But on the rest of the sock, it's almost like it's only stripes with blue and orange. It's fascinating how colors can kind of blend like that. So yeah. But these will be shorty socks for me. I have also casted on another pair of shorty socks. This fun self-striping pair, also from my yarn stash. This is Biscotte Yarns, which I believe is a Canadian brand. I can't recall or see on the label what the colorway name is, but it's basically red, yellow, and blue. Unfortunately, when I tried it on, I saw that I have knitted the heel flap a little bit too short, so it's too short from this point up here on the ankle and down here to under my foot. So it's just going to slide down, unfortunately. So I need to rip back and knit the heel flap a little bit longer. But I think it's more important to have socks that I can actually wear than to not rip back and just complete what I've started. Okay, So yeah, and the knitting basket. This basket is my first Ghana basket. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I bought it at a yarn store called Studio Moyo in Fredrikstad during the summer. And it's just a perfect little size, and I love to have my ongoing projects in it, especially when it's as small as socks or the fisherman's hat. Just absolutely perfect for smaller projects. I have also worked a little bit on the Farnham sweater, but for the most part this has been a way to warm project to be knitting on now during summer. So it hasn't gotten the full attention that it certainly deserves. But I can show you briefly anyway. So this is the current status. Actually, when I see this marker, I wonder if that might be the point where I last showed you progress in June, which is kind of embarrassing. I mean, it's not even 10 centimeters. Oh well. But you can kind of see where this sweater is going, and it is a very wide model, and I think it will be fantastic to wear during fall and winter. Can you see here that it's kind of what do you call it? Is not a drop shoulder, but it is a kind of steep curve from the neck and down to where the sleeves are beginning. It's a very neat and nice design. I really, really, really love it. And I'm using this is a very, very lavender lilac-y color, like true lilac in my opinion. And it's Cascade Heritage heathered. And this is a hand-dyed worsted weight yarn that I'm using for the stripes. So yeah, I'll definitely pick this up and work more on it. But it's a very, very warm fabric, and it's definitely denser than the chunky Dahlia, which is very, very light and airy. So yeah, it's much more comforting to work on ankle socks and small projects like hats now during summer, for sure. For me, at least, that's my opinion. Yeah, that was everything that I have been working on, like knit-wise. I wonder what you have been doing during summer. Has anyone been moving like me, or have you just had your holiday or relaxed and crafted your heart out? I'd love to hear, and I am slowly getting back to watching knitting podcasts and gaining some more inspiration again. it is wonderful to just catch up and see what everybody has been up to during summer. But I know, of course, that lots are just taking a break from wool and knitting during summer. So, and that's totally understandable. Yeah, I like to work out in the garden and do a lot of other things as well during summer. But I don't think a week passes by without me knitting on something. I would love to take you on a little house tour. I think that you need to come along for that in not so long. I hope that you have had a wonderful summer so far and that your August filled with happiness and relaxing, enjoyable moments and some knitting. So thank you so much for watching and being here together with me, and I hope to see you very soon again. Bye.
I look for the things I don't know. For all in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know.